Hello and welcome to this new video on Procedural vs Declarative. This video is one of the videos on DevOps under 5-minute series, so I hope you enjoy it in these 5 minutes. Let's start. We are working in a world that probably your microservices is in different continents, at least 5 of the continents or 2 continents, and it should be available 24 hours. And disaster is inevitable, something happens and your production goes down. At the end of the day, we have some promises to the customers and we want to keep our production up. But from the other hand, we want to have some kind of work-life balance. So at the end of the day, we should really find a way to kind of automate the things or probably create something that will bring us better utility. Firstly, people were going toward automation, writing bash scripts. The one you see in here is going to install MySQL on Ubuntu. And basically, it's some kind of procedural way of doing the things. So you are saying that do this, then do this, then do this. You are saying every step of the way what should happen. There's also another approach to it, and we call it describing the final state or declarative way of doing the things. We write YAML files that is going to be input to a system that's going to translate that YAML file as a state of the system or final state of the system, and kind of compares the current state with the final state and implement something that is going to bring the system to that final state. As an example, we have here Terraform. That is Terraform. It's a YAML file that's going to describe how to install the MySQL. Also, you have seen Kubernetes configuration files. This one is, for example, a deployment that is saying that go in and create Zipkin deployment in your cluster. If you want to compare declarative vs procedural, there are different aspects that we should take care of it. One of them is dealing with configuration drift. So if we are going to implement, for example, something on Ubuntu Linux, and we are writing, for example, one script that assumes some kind of state, then after some time, probably that state changes. Probably new application is installed, or probably you have installed new firewalls. At the end of the day, when you do something like that, it changes the state of the system, and probably your script will not work. But when we are going with declarative, it just compares the current state with the end state and does the job of creating the end state. The other one is ease of repeatability. Exactly because of the previous reason, you will go with declarative. Although procedural will be okay regarding repeatability. Again, declarative, you can always be sure that it's going to repeat. The next one is management of the complexity. That's a part that sometimes people try to use procedural because procedural is very easy to implement, versus declarative. Usually you should implement some kind of system that translates that declarative state and then kind of transforms the system. So if you are on short time, you just want to patch something and go with it, you should go with procedural. If you have time to implement something that is good, you want to kind of have that system, you should go with declarative. The other one is idempotency. It means that every time that you are going to implement that script or run that script, you are going to gain the same result, or it kind of shows you the final state every time that you are going to install that script. You can achieve that one with procedural with a lot of ifs, if the system is like this, do this, or something like that. But with declarative, it's kind of given to you. The last one is state management. That's the tricky part. So in the procedural, you need to do some ifs at the beginning of your script probably, and then you run your script. But with declarative, you should always install some kind of system. If it's cluster, you should install some kind of Kubernetes. If it's in the kind of configuration management, you should have Terraform. So that's the way. If you want to go with declarative way, for sure you should implement some kind of application that does the job of state management for you. That's it, declarative vs procedural. I hope you have a great day.